Hello and welcome to Understanding Narcissists. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I want to talk about Doomsday scenarios. And this video should be pretty short. I hope it'll be short. We shall see. Doomsday scenarios are basically one of the tendrils that narcissists kind of have everywhere. Um, they're a type of reaction. Narcissists kind of have a sort of toolkit of reactions to get you to do what they want. And I'm not sure why I want to talk about this one. I think it's interesting and I think it's useful. And it's the one where, for whatever reason, they're feeling vulnerable, they're feeling insecure, which they always do, but they're having a particular moment with it and struggling with it. And you offer up some kind of resistance to their control. You don't do what they want. And something happens to align in that moment, and they issue this sort of proclamation that something really bad is going to happen if you don't do it. There's a few ways that they say this to you. One is sort of the domineering, aggressive way, more overtly aggressive way, which is as your superior trying to get you to do this thing, whatever it is, really something symbolic that makes them feel better, that assures them that they are indeed in control and you're not going anywhere and everything is going to be okay for them. That kind of thing. And it that initial approach, which is pretty much aggressive and trying to muscle you, I think that one happens more often. I think it's the more typical one. It's the one where they're going to approach you and really make a big deal, probably out of nothing, out of something that's really not that grave, but they'll speak in a grave manner and they'll make it like, if you don't do this, you're bad. That kind of thing. It's that sort of tone or even narration. And the other most common one, and I'll list all the ones I can think of at the moment because I gave it some thought, but I'm sure there's variations and you can tell me in the comment section what your experiences have been, is the victim one, where they almost come crawling towards you going, you know, this thing's happening, you have to fix it, and all this is going to go away or blow up if you don't do this one thing. The victim sort of psychology of narcissists is sort of strange because it's so much at odds with their need and desire and drive for control and power over you and other people. And so that illusion doesn't mix so well when they're a victim. But they are a victim, and we know that they're victims, and you see that every day. You see that part of them that's always saying, you know, I've been abused and hurt my whole life, and look how I've come out of it. I'm doing so well. I'm so tough. I'm so great, whatever it is. And so it's kind of hard to believe that they do it until you see it, and then you can actually acknowledge they're doing it. They're kind of able to keep it hidden away, right? They don't want to take this, I'm a child, and you have to take care of me type of approach, but that's what's going on. And so you'll see the victim side of it too, the victim appeal, which is something's going on. You could be responsible for it as well. You may not be. It could be something that's happened out of the blue and now you have to take care of it because they're in trouble. It could be something that they've caused and gotten themselves into. But either way, it really doesn't matter what the cause is because it's up to you to fix it. And remember, that's their whole process of taking these problems and dumping them onto you. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going on. And you're going to be expected to fix it. I think what gets me, and something I can't tell you, I can't predict because it might depend on the narcissist. I think it depends on the narcissist and maybe the situation. I don't know what it is. It's that you can't determine what order they're going to come in. It comes in different combinations, right? These different appeals. And I'm not even convinced that I've broken them down thoroughly enough. It's just that they exist. There's going to be variations. I don't have an exhaustive list to give you. If I sit down and really think about it, maybe I can crank something out that would be useful, but usually when I'm sitting here and talking, I can just think of the stuff and it comes. This is something I think about a lot, but it's not so easy for me to kind of unroll all that information. So I think there's a lot of variation in personal stuff that comes into play, and also what works best on you. Remember, some of those things you may be more willing and ready to submit if they're acting dominant, or you might be more of a caretaker, and it might work better if you want to take care of them and they act like a baby, a helpless child. It's usually a combination of both, and it can go back and forth. So the order of these things is what gets me. They're kind of Lego pieces. They can be used in different ways for different ends, and they'll often come in a series. They'll often come one after the other, depending on how well the one before it worked. If one doesn't work, they go on to the next. I want to say that they try the dominant approach first, but I'm not sure that that's true. Because I've seen, at least, and this is purely anecdote, including what lots of people have told me, situations where they're the victim first, and they make this kind of sort of desperate plea, and almost submit, right? Almost act completely helpless in that you have to step in to save them. You might be the bad guy. They might throw a wave of guilt at you because you're responsible for it somehow, that they're having this problem. And let me just say real quick, it can be any kind of problem. If you're with a narcissist, you know what I'm talking about. The littlest of things. It's all emotional. What's going on with them, and then it has to come through some sort of scenario and some sort of issue that you are expected to solve. So that's what I'm talking about. I know that's vague, but that's a different topic in itself, and I'll probably do more videos on that in the future because I don't think I've covered that thoroughly enough. But I guess what I want you to take away from this video, if you haven't done this already, and I'm sure you have, the way they talk to you, look at all the different approaches, the different tendrils, as I call them, because it's a tendril. It's like invading your space, and they've got, their hands on everything, right? They've got to have control over everything, so there's key points, the important people in your life, important things, money, bills, control over stuff. They're the gatekeepers for all that. They're directing and determining that most of the time. I'm not going to say all the time, but most of the time they're going to have a big hand in that. And they'll be wresting control from you. And your own responsibilities and your own rights as a person, they'll be taking that from you. So they can determine those things. Anything that allows them to control your life, of course. Look at those different voices and the different tones they use, the different approaches, the different faces. Tally them up in your head. Look at the combinations. Look at when they use them and try to figure out why. It's usually pretty simple. I wish I could tell you, but there's so much personal variation. But within the personal variation, it's usually pretty simple. And when you've known them for a long time, it's pretty easy for you to figure out. And I don't know, it's very effective. It's very helpful. And after that, see if you can get a clue on the different narrations that they tell other people. That's the most interesting thing to me, is when you're in a position, which I've been a few times in my life, where I get to hear what they've been telling other people and what the other people's impressions of you or the situation or whatever are, of different experiences and different things that they've heard through the narcissist's storytelling. It's pretty interesting. Sometimes, and it's disturbing as well. It gives you a really good insight into them and what they're doing, because you realize, hey, they've been telling all these people stuff that's simply not true for years. I mean, that's what they do. It's just that crazy. And that shouldn't be that surprising, but when you see it demonstrated to you, you get to see all their different masks and all their different faces and tones and the way they talk to you. And it's pretty staggering. It's a weird experience when that kind of stuff comes together, and you always learn more. No matter how much you know, you can always learn more. And it still floors you. I'm still surprised this day from things I see and remember from experiences with narcissists in my past. But even in the present, I still get surprises. And I'll just try to share them with you because I think it gives more insight, and at least it can be useful and trying to help people. This video was not as short as I would like it to have been. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. Like it if you do. Share it with somebody you think might also like it and benefit from it. Comment in the comment section below about this topic. I expect this topic to be huge because, as I said, there's so much variation. There's so many different combinations, and I'm really curious about this topic. I want to see what you can find, and maybe I might start working on something new regarding it because it's really important, and it just keeps going and going and going. But it's not something that's monotonous for me. It's something that's really interesting when I see the different combinations of narcissistic behaviors and how to break them apart and how to put them together and what they do. So share all your experiences and everything you know with the rest of us, because I think we'll really benefit from it and really enjoy hearing it. Just share what you're comfortable with, but share everything that you're comfortable with, because I think it'll just be really fascinating. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.